What's up, guys? Welcome back to Animation Station, your number one sponsorship for anything and everything animation. Welcome back to Cowabunga Calvacade. And if you're wondering why my usual display isn't up there right now, it's because I was in a tornado watch for a good few hours, and I wanted to prepare just in case it ended up ripping the house apart. So I packed all my stuff in bags and stuff like that. Not all my stuff, just the stuff I couldn't bear losing the most, aka most of my freaking Sonic collection. So none of it's like gone, and thankfully the watch is gone now. So after this video, and after I play a few hours of Minecraft with my friend, well, cousin, but I'm still gonna call him friend anyway. Um, I will start unpacking and putting everything back, and that will be back the way it was. Maybe a little bit rearranged. Because I feel like the time was coming around anyway for me to reorganize that whole shelf. Honestly, just my entire room in general, because I'm getting so much stuff lately. So, because of that, that's why that's like that, and that's why Master Chief is sitting there and not all the way over there with my 360. So, yeah, just wanted to point that out. But, anywho, today's going to be a nice and short video because now we're going to do all the side characters from worst to best. Or at least, in my opinion, the 6 most important. So, I'm going to get some honorable mentions out of the way that aren't going to be on the list that I know are kind of iconic to Turtles, but I don't really think there's enough. I didn't think there was enough to talk about with them or anything like that. So, for example, one duo that's not on this list is Bebop and Rocksteady. And it's not that I hate the characters by any means, I do like them. There's just that, there's not enough versions of them to actually make a fair comparison, because they're not in 03 and they're not in 07 and etc, etc, etc. And 2, because you can't have one without the other, so trying to rank which one's better of the two just seems kind of pointless to me. So, yeah, they're not on the list. Irma's not on the list. She would be on the bottom if she was, though. I mean, let me tell you. 87 Irma is so annoying, but yeah. So characters like that are not going to be on this list. I picked 6, and I tried to be as fair as I could. So without further ado, this is going to be a nice and short video. Let's go through the 6 most important side characters ranked from worst to best overall. Starting off with the worst of the 6, and by no means a bad character, but just not as good as the rest of them, and that's going to be Baxter Stockman. He is, again, by no means a bad character, and I love his horror movie-inspired mutation design of being, a giant mutant fly. Even going so far as to have the 87 series title cards, of which he's featured in, be named after the original Fly sequels. Not the remake by Cronenberg, the original classic Fly movies from the 50s. That is a really cool attention to detail. But compared to the other 5 characters on this list, he's just not as memorable. Shout out to the 03 and 2012 versions, though, both going to some pretty dark and gruesome territory. Like, 03 especially in Season 5, which is, honestly, I believe the reason that entire season got banned for so long, because, what they do with Baxter Stockman, specifically in Season 5, is some of the most gruesome, dark stuff you will see in any Turtles cartoon. And, of course, being a horror nut, I love the absolute heck out of that stuff. So, yeah. I really enjoyed it, and I think Baxter Stockman is an essential Turtles character, but I just don't really have a lot to say about him. Honorable mention also goes to Karai. There's only like 2 or 3 versions of her, and while she is sort of essential to Turtles, she's not in enough of them to really justify being an important character. Because she's only in, let me think, the 03 show, the 07 movie, and the 2012 series. I know she's not in Rise, and I know she's not in 87, so, yeah. And also, before you say, oh, but she was in the Bayverse, yeah, that one doesn't count. That wasn't correct, that was just some random side character that ended up having the same name as the character. It's the reason why I didn't talk about Bayverse, April, and Casey, because I don't want to talk about them, and I really just don't care, so, yeah. That's going to be Baxter Stockman, bottom of the list. 5th goes to Krang, everyone's everyone's favorite alien brain and undoubtedly a very iconic villain of the Turtles' legacy. But me personally, I always found him more silly than actually legitimately threatening, which is what made him so entertaining in the 87 series. I just love how he just berates Shredder after every single failure. It's so funny. However, he was completely absent from the 03 series, horribly butchered in the Bayverse. I'm not even going to go into detail as to why. You know why if you've seen the movie. And slightly annoying in the 2012 show of repeating certain words over and over again ad nauseum. Like Krang are the turtles that are coming to this place. That stupid freaking robotic speaking. Bleh. I'm glad they got Gilbert Gottfried to voice the Krang Subprime. May he rest in peace. Because that was the one Krang from 2012 I actually liked. So, yeah. I still really like the character, I just prefer other versions. Well, other characters over that character. You know what I mean. Fourth goes to Shredder. This guy is usually one of two things: bone-chillingly menacing or laughably incompetent, and both work for different reasons. Goofy versions like 87 Shredder worked because of how bafflingly stupid some of his plans could be, and it never fails to make me laugh when, again, like I said earlier, when Krang berates him for his constant failure. Whereas badass versions like 2012 or 03 work because they are legitimately menacing, and while their plans also usually fail, it's because of the turtles just barely outsmarting him or his many henchmen, and not the actual plans he comes up with himself. Undoubtedly the most iconic Ninja Turtles villain, and while he's low on this list overall, he's still a great character. Third goes to April O'Neil. Definitely the Turtles' most well-known ally and a fascinating character in her own right. Whether she's a news reporter, a lab assistant, a tech whiz, or a skilled ninja, she's always finding ways to help out in any way she can. And sure, sometimes she can be a cliche damsel in distress and get captured constantly. 87. But in certain versions like 03, and especially The Last Ronin, they always find ways to add new dimension and complexity to her character that make me appreciate her more as the years go by. Definitely a standout, memorable character. I just prefer two other characters more. It's just how it is. Second place goes to Master Splinter, the wise master / father of the Turtles, with the constantly changing backstory with pretty much every single version. Master Splinter is a great character that's essential to pretty much any and every version of the Ninja Turtles. 2012 Splinter especially, teaching lessons so great that they can actually be applied to real life. But there's just one character that I'd prefer just a slight bit more. And if you saw my ranking video from yesterday, you probably already know who it is, so let's just get it out of the way. Number one, and in my opinion, the best secondary character in the franchise, and my second favorite character in the franchise, only to Leonardo, is going to be Casey Jones, a fan favorite character and my second favorite in the whole franchise. A ticked-off and short-fused vigilante who hates the justice system because he thinks it's broken and refuses to play by its rules. Add on his complex, tragic backstory and brotherhood with the fellow short-tempered guy Raphael, and you have a great character. Then give him a great love story with April that adds even more to his complexity and dimension. Now you've got the best secondary character in the entire franchise. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for probably an even shorter video when we rank all the Turtles from worst to best, in my personal opinion. And yes, we know that Leonardo is going to be my number one. I know. I've made that way too predictable. But the rest may surprise you. Wait and see. Thanks for watching. I'm Jadsmall of Animation Station, and I'll see you guys next time. Cowabunga! Dudes!